WCCORadio.com. When we come back, John Hines, we are going to meet a guy who is celebrating a great award, a great honor. And we learned a thing or two about driving a truck, a semi, an 18-wheeler. This guy is won the Trucker of the Year award. We're going to find out how he did it after this on News Radio 830 WCCO.
I breathe the mountain air, man. I travel out and have my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow.
And somewhere in Worthington, Minnesota, as a matter of fact, is where Dave Earnest trucks 1.2 million miles without a screw-up. And besides all of that, a darn good guy. That's how you become the Minnesota Trucking Association's Truck Driver of the Year.
And he is on our news line. Congratulations, Dave.
Well, thank you very, very much. Quite an honor and a privilege.
Well, it is, and it's no easy feat, because I had the opportunity, as you may remember, John Hines and I came out to Transport America, and they allowed me the opportunity to drive an 18-wheeler, and I almost cried trying to get through this very narrow simulated alleyway, and I at one point just threw my hands up.
It was the old offset alley, Dave, that she was trembling, but she stayed with it. She stayed with it.
How'd you make out with your gears, or was it automatic?
No, sir. I did change gears. I got up to fourth gear at one point, and once I got the hang of it, I was really moving.
Wow, very good.
But you know what? It gave me, and I think people listening today, here we are in Minnesota where the weather's bad, and you're often driving on a freeway, and there's a semi-truck next to you, and I always now, with this newfound appreciation, think I can't believe how hard your job must be to maneuver with all the cars sort of sometimes not doing the brightest thing when it comes to traveling.
Oh, boy, and that's the truth, especially in bad weather. You got to use common sense, and I'm a big advocate of the use of a cell phone and text messaging, and it's just you got to concentrate on what you're doing at all times.
God knows you see it all from where you're sitting up there, don't you?
You sure do. You sure do.
Do you have things you can share that are rated PG-13 that you could share about some of the memorable moments of your driving career?
It's funny you say that, because there are a lot of non-PG-13 comments, but there are some real strange things. In fact, it was 2 years ago after the Super Bowl. I was going southbound on Interstate 29 in the right-hand lane, and coming in the left-hand lane going northbound was a car. You don't really see that very often, a car going the wrong way in the interstate, but it does happen. And of course, I got on the CB and called 911, because I don't know if the person was drinking or lost, or I don't know, but it was after the Super Bowl, so I just took for granted he might have been drinking. So yeah, that was kind of strange. But no, there's, every truck driver's got their stories for sure, because you do see it all. I mean, you're out there, 24/7, but there are a lot of non-PG-13 stories to be had, but we won't
the naked people, and the naked people engaged with other naked people.
While driving, that just blows my mind. How do you not have an accident taking part in activities while you're driving?
Well, that's the whole key, is not to participate in those activities.
Hey, an important part of this, people should realize this too. This is pretty cool, the way the Minnesota Trucking Association does this. There was a ceremony last night at the Prom Center in Oakdale, right off of 94 there. And the neat thing is, it is not just for the 1.2 million miles of safe driving, but they also look at the driver and what does he do and what does he contribute in the community, and that's got to be kind of an additional honor, Dave.
Well, it sure is, John, and really the key to it, just like any other job, if you really enjoy what you do, you're usually pretty good at it. Of course, there's a lot of luck and a lot of things, but you put your faith in God, and again, just enjoy what you're doing. You are going to be good at it.
Yeah, that's neat. Put your faith in God and enjoy what you're doing. And I guess my question is, how has it changed for you over the years? How long have you been driving? And I know when I was in that truck, the cab was beautiful. It was like a little hotel in there. Has it changed over the years in terms of comfort and driving and that kind of thing?
Oh, without a doubt. I started out in a little tiny flat-top Pete, which means you couldn't stand up in the cab even to change your clothes. And it's definitely what we have out here now. We're called condos, where you have your refrigerator, your little microwave, your home away from home, And the equipment here with Smith Trucking is just excellent. I mean, it's first class all the way. And it's got anything you could possibly want, except for a bathroom. Of course, we still have to stop for that.
Well, you should mention Smith Trucking, the operators that Dave Ernest drives for out of Worthington, Minnesota. Your home is not originally Worthington, though. You're from out east.
Yes, sir. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. And I saw one of their trucks several years ago, and I was very impressed with it. I asked the driver for a phone number, and I started the process and the hiring process. I talked to what I thought was a recruiter almost 3 times before I did realize it was Mike Smith, who is one of the owners. Him and his dad and his brother run the company, and then talked to Larry Thury, who works for a safety director, and they just really, really impressed me over the phone. And I could tell they were first class all the way.
That's awesome. What would you like to say, Dave, as we let you go here, to the four-wheelers out there? Because I know I get so scared, Dave, when I'm on the freeway driving next to a truck and I'm passing them. I always go like 5,000 miles an hour just because I'm afraid to be next to the truck. And I know that's probably wrong, but I'm not sure what to do. So, I mean, to the rest of us out there, what would you say?
Well, actually, I like what you said. Either get behind us or pass us. The worst thing you want to do is ride next to us, especially in bad weather. The wind's blowing and the snow's coming down. You don't want to be next to a big truck on either, especially on the right-hand side. Of course, most trucks will be in the right-hand lane. But, yeah, try to get past us or just come back a notch and get behind us.
One of the lessons, too, Dave, that Susie and I learned when we were out there with John Housladen and all those folks from TA was that if you can't see that truck driver's mirrors, he cannot see you.
Oh, that's the truth.
And that's a good thing for anybody to remember.
Very, very good point. Just look in that mirror and you'll see, if you see my eyes, I can see you.
1.2 million miles without an accident. Our biggest congratulations to you, Dave, and thank you for all that you do.
Well, thank you, Susie, and thank you very much, John. Appreciate everything.
Keeping it safe out there. Have a great day. You should take this story, Susie, and put this as your young son now, learns to drive. Say, here, Ben, why don't you strive for 1.2 million miles accident-free?
I don't think you can get out of the driveway without hitting something.